wish to speak. This is not an interactive process. Board members do not interrupt, respond to, or engage with public commenters. Commenters acknowledge that public comment is not unrestricted. Commenters should be familiar with board policies and rules regarding public comment. They agree they will not raise individual personnel issues before the board or individual student issues. Commenters bear full responsibility for the comments made. They acknowledge the board members will not react, and they agree to follow the chairman's instructions when the chair is enforcing those agreements. The timer will begin automatically when the commenter arrives at the podium. Additionally, to ensure that the views of citizens are not obstructed during the meeting and for safety purposes, only one speaker will be allowed at the podium at a time, with the exception of a parent or guardian accompanying a minor. If you would like to show your support of a speaker, you are welcome to stand in place. I also want to remind everyone in the room that we must keep the center aisle clear. Do not stand in front of the stanchions in the center aisle, in front of the exit door, or in front of the side exit doors. No disruption to any part of our meeting will be allowed. If you wish to record any portion of someone's public comments or the meeting, you may record from your seat. The board appreciates all of our community members that choose to participate in the public comment section of the board meeting. Ms. Wilcox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first speaker is Tova Raymond, to be followed by Rose Catholic.
My name is Tova, and I'm speaking as a special needs mom. In June, I discussed the importance of having safety equipment required by students' IEPs on the bus to ensure safety. At that time, I made the suggestions such as labeling student safety harnesses when transportation collects them, or providing schools with current sizes to ensure accurate label. In July, I was hopeful when I listened to the superintendent's remarks and heard that changes had been made. Sadly, we had a repeat of our summer situation in August. We received a harness that was too small. The bus driver then brought a bigger one that was too big without leg straps. Thanks to the bus driver's continuous efforts, my son received the correct equipment Tuesday, August 5th. I'm asking for a system in place that helps schools complete paperwork with students' correct sizes. Last year, I discussed the updated medication form for students who require the prescribed medication at school, and the added requirement for a doctor to complete part of the form for a doctor's signature for a student to receive prescribed medication. This year, it took 4 hours to obtain the necessary doctor's component of this form. My family is not the only family that struggled with getting a doctor to complete the paperwork. Additionally, many doctor's offices have fees for paperwork to be completed. I'm asking again for this step to be eliminated, and labeled bottles with the prescription information sent from doctors to pharmacies be considered proof that the medication has been prescribed. I would like to thank the county for decreasing my son's bus ride to an hour or less each way. Please help families like ours instead of making simple things like riding the bus or being able to take medication hard. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Rose Catholic, to be followed by Mindy Speed.
I appreciate the opportunity to comment. I am here because I'm truly baffled to know how millions of dollars can be funneled into a parking lot so property looks nice, while long-standing maintenance issues exist in Cobb schools affecting the day-to-day student learning experience. This is what I learned earlier at the working board meeting. Cobb County Schools would spend $2 million on building a parking lot on its property at 440-460 Glover. It would make the property look nice. At the same time, Cobb schools have long-standing maintenance issues outstanding for years, not being addressed. Some are sewerage issues, and I understand that Pebblebrook had a hall flood this past week due to lack of maintenance. So I'm truly perplexed. I really am. And if I could just make a little levity here, if anybody knows The Exorcist, my head went around 360 when I heard this. And I'm perplexed by the priority of concrete over the well-being of our kids while at school. And ask that you reconsider the parking lots
30 seconds.
over much needed school maintenance. Thank you.
Is Mary Cedar to be followed by Jennifer Seska. Good evening, board. I want to talk to you tonight about CCSD bus maintenance. I was happy to see on my route in the hiring banners at the depot. The idea that our maintenance team is in need of supplies and support reminds me of the call to action from our beloved bus drivers needing personal protective equipment during COVID. I did what has become a reflex to me, which is to see a need and meet it, or try to. We held a drive for personal protective equipment and cleaning supplies. Our first pickup, we ran out of supply bags and quickly realized the need was much greater than what we had realized. So we went back to the community and we doubled down on what was needed for our drivers. We filled my entire garage with donations from the community, and we filled bags for those drivers. We filled the entire back of the U-Haul van to the brim for those drivers. Later that year, my oldest student's first bus driver died of COVID. Mr. Bob was dutiful in his responsibilities, as were every driver that we handed those yellow bags to on 2 different Saturdays. I don't know if a similar drive like that would be helpful to our fleet maintenance workers, but I am absolutely positive that I am going to do whatever these guys need when they show up, and they may ask after ask to get the staffing and supplies that they need to deliver our students safely. For 13 years, 13 years, I have dutifully put my students on the bus as asked to reduce traffic, to increase their safety, to get them to school on time, together with their drivers. The least we can do is take care of those who are maintaining those buses that deliver our students to and from all year. Let's do better by those entrusted to provide safety than Sears from Cheddar with big cheeses. Our next speaker is to be followed by Andrew Cole.
When people get dumped, the reason given is rarely the truth. I need space. It's not you, it's me. Those are cover stories. I think that's what's happened here. You killed live streams of public comment, and the excuses, copyright concerns, people being too shy, those are breakup lines of a dishonest school board and superintendent. So people guess, maybe it's the bus mechanics raising safety concerns, drivers speaking up about poor working conditions, parents criticizing you, or students exposing racism. You wouldn't admit if those were the reasons, but I think it's something that we don't know yet, and it must be bad enough that you're fine letting us believe those other theories instead. And you slipped in a policy update with a definition that seemingly conflicts with the law. Lawyer said, "Hortius is a catch-all." Wrong. I'm not a lawyer, but legal experts know it has an actual legal definition. They also know that weaponizing a policy as a catch-all to stifle speech not only jeopardizes the board's liability, but also risks drawing scrutiny from the bar. The community won't be intimidated by fake legal threats. Y'all know we've got lawyers too, which is helpful since no school board stomps First Amendment rights like you. And we all know what happens here when viewpoints get shut down: lawsuits. Cutting the mic during a millage rate hearing might just be the next time some of us meet in the courtroom. Sometimes you have to admit, he's just not that into you. In this case, taxpayers will do the breaking up. We'll kick you to the curb because we're just not that into you. Because we're just not that into you. Honesty is the best policy in breakups and boardrooms. And I, for one, look forward to the truth about these recent changes breaking through the excuses you made up. Hashtag shut Chastain in 2026.
Our next speaker is Andrew Cole, to be followed by Laura Hill.
Hello, Andrew Cole, Cobb County Cobb Dad. I'm here because I want to spend time with fellow patriots, people who love this country, state, and county, people who love what those places stand for, people who believe in founding principles like liberty, wisdom, justice, and moderation. And yet, what we've received instead is subjugation, ignorance, injustice, and extremism. The very board members that cling to that true patriot identity have joined hands with their partisan brothers to do daddy's bidding again and violate people's rights to preserve power. Why even me? Y'all, why bother with the song and dance of Robert's rules and acting like anything would ever differ from what daddy wanted? It's embarrassing for our county and especially for those who voted for this. You've undone what had become a tradition with our county offices and public meetings, accessible broadcasts, including public comment. When you went home last month and kicked off those orthopedics, did you walk in and say, honey, I did a good thing today. I silenced the public because they were informing others, and I don't hear that. All of the reasons have been completely disproven, and I just know that there is no way you wanted to do it, but daddy wanted it. So any ends justify the means, no? No. And you know it too. Would your childhood heroes run from a mother asking for help for their child, or a department asking for better tools and treatment, or an insolent father who grew up here and has a disdain for autocrats, another idea this country was founded on? Errors are going to be made. This is a very public district, and occasional faults and fallout are inevitable. Perfection is impossible, but humility is, interaction is, acknowledgement is. Undoing this rash policy change is possible. Show everyone that you're capable of listening and change. Think of it as an unneeded $50 million event center and just cancel it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Laura Judge, to be followed by Patricia Hay.
Hello, board, Laura Judge, Paragraph 2 in the Cobb County Schools. The decision to stop broadcasting public comment is a direct hit to transparency and the voices of our community. Public comment is one of the few chances parents, students, and taxpayers have to speak directly to the board. By removing it from the broadcast, you are silencing not just those in the room, but the thousands of community members who cannot be here, whether due to work, childcare, or just plain distance. Issues like anti-Semitism, school safety, and how our tax dollars are spent, all things that I've spoke about up here, deserve to be heard by everyone. We have the fleet maintenance crew back here again after they spoke out, and then mysteriously the comments were silenced. We deserve accountability. You say that you're leaders, act like one. Silencing voices is not leadership.
Our next speaker is Patricia Hay, to be followed by Ricky May.
Hi, I'm a resident of Kimberley Acres, and I want to talk about the Mableton Bus Depot. And I just want to make sure you are aware that Gore Road is, it can't even hardly accommodate two cars. And it's not even in great condition. And when you put this bus depot there, it's going to be really bad because you've got this busy Veterans Highway, and then you've got this little tiny road. It's going to be dangerous. And I'm just here. I know you're already going to vote on it, and it's almost a done deal, but I'm begging you, don't do it. I mean, it's just not going to be a good thing. I've heard there's another location that you could use, and it's just not going to be good. But I live real close, and I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. I'm just here, and just telling you, it's not a good idea. And that's all I wanted to say. And I've talked to you before, and I've defended you, but this time I think you made a mistake.
Our next speaker is Becky May Harper, to be followed by Susan Clark.
Good evening, board members. I wanted to speak tonight about an issue I've had for a while. For many years, if you bought a soda at the South Cobb Bus Depot shop, you paid $2. If you bought a soda at the teacher's lounge at Griffin Middle School, you paid $1.25. This is a huge difference. I asked transportation about the price difference and was pointed to the vending machine company, who pointed me back to the Cobb County School District, who ignored me. Meanwhile, I got on Facebook and learned that the price difference was to fund the end of the year party. So I asked, why is transportation paying for their own end of the year party and not Cobb County School District? And in fact, we haven't had an end of the year party since 2019. I have provided some documentation for you, and I ask that I please get some answers. If it's discombobulated, I apologize on behalf of the secretary. So I asked why Cobb County is taking extra money from the school bus drivers and other transportation personnel, and where is the money? Has it been spent? If the money was air tagged for an end of the year party and it's sitting in a pot somewhere, since there hasn't been an end of the year party since 2019, where's the money? Before I walk away from the podium, I do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for starting the process of allowing school bus drivers to have an access badge. That's huge for them. I see some management has been made, some changes in the transportation. 30 seconds. Please keep your ears to the ground, your eyes open. Because remember, it wasn't the wizard running Oz, it was the man behind the curtain. Thank you.
Just for those who are videoing. Good evening. I'm sure Mr. Ragsdale always paying attention to me tonight. Good, thank you. Did I get it right? Was there an award for school bus safety for a child? And yet you seem to know of the school bus safety of the school buses and the mechanics. I haven't heard anything if there's been any major changes to protect my grandchildren while they're on the school bus by assisting the mechanics and the overworked mechanics and the buses themselves. So that just seemed very ironic that you were giving an award tonight for school bus safety. Mr. Chastain, I believe you're up for election next year. I hope that you will pay attention to people who want these comments broadcast, because I seriously think that you might have an issue for your election bid. It's very important that these are broadcast. I tried to demonstrate last time how kind of hard it was. There's a center that phone up there, and we don't have people who are broadcasting up, seeing our faces anymore. You can do better than that. There's a $2 million budget. There's over 100,000 students. This is a huge district. You need to be aware that you need to do better than you have.
Thank you. We're now back on air. Thank you to our further commenters that participated. Let's see.
They're back on the air.
Now we have items requiring from executive section. Mr. Ragsdale.